Hello, people. Is Duet Night Abyss a gacha game? No. Then why does it feel like a gacha game then? I mean, the game technically isn't a gacha game anymore, but why does it feel so much like one? We all know one of the main selling points is that the game removed its own gacha system, but oh boy, does the gacha skeleton lingers in other places. Today, I'll be diving deeper down into this, but before we start, what is a modern gacha game? A gacha game is a type of video game that implements the gachapon machine style mechanics. Gacha games entice players to spend the in-game currency to receive a random in-game item. Some in-game currencies can be gained through the gameplay or mostly by spending real money. The gacha game model has been around since the early 90s with stuff like trading card games, but in the present, they mostly involve games with banners that you can pull for different loot. And the points I will make here aren't exactly what I would say is making a gacha game gacha, but many people would correlate these to a typical gacha game. The first one being having banner systems. Even though Duet Night Abyss banner system is only for skins and cosmetics, the fact that it's still a banner system with exactly how a character banner would work in other gacha games make a lot of people point to it. But just having a banner system doesn't really make it a gacha game, right? Look at these games, for example. This game doesn't really be called a gacha game just because the cosmetics are random. So, what is it then? Next is about the endgame modes we currently have. I would say the Immersive Theater and Fox Hunter Summit are the main goals, with both of these modes having buffs tailor-made for the newest unit they want to push out, specifically with Elemental, where enemies takes more damage from a certain element, and this is usually seen in gacha markets where they try to push out the new units to be the most broken one so people can buy them more. And I personally feel if they just remove this out, the game will feel a lot lesser like a gacha game. Let's talk about character buildings. Well, usually in a lot of games, characters are divided by the class. Like we have the damage dealers, we have the tanks, and the supporters. But this game, we are divided by elements. But dividing them by elements is the aspect you see in a lot of these gacha games you see nowadays. And after they start locking characters by elements, these also start to pop up. Characters locked only to be fitted in certain teams. When they start selling new teams, it looks so much more like how gacha games would sell their units. Then, when you try to level up your character, it's used exactly the same system as most gacha games would use. You gather materials, you ascend them, and you level them up, and repeat that process. Now, after they release a character, they also release a best in slot weapon for them as well. And now they're marketing the character and their best in slot weapon as well. Let's say it's really familiar to gacha games, right? And after having characters and weapons, we also have character dupes. Character dupes are used to make your characters stronger by having duplicates of them. And by having duplicates of the same characters, usually gained by pulling more of them, but we don't pull for them here. It's a really gacha mindset to max your characters, isn't it? And next is about providing stats to your character. When you build characters in different games, you will find like weapons or armor put on and you see visually. And in DNA, we have these little trinkets you use to up your stats for characters, and you will be farming these demon wedges. And these demon wedges will give you stats depending on what type it is. And having these little stats trinkets is really common in a lot of gacha games you see. Let's talk about events. In DNA, we also have events like most of the live service games, but the way their events is structured is more like limited mini games rather than additions for a limited time to already existing gameplay. Events are really lighthearted and easy, and they focus more on the minigame route. They are doing it rather safe, but not really challenging the player's experience with harder content. That makes it feel a lot like other gachas who add a shit ton of minigames into their events. Duet Abyss has a couple of things to do once the weekly reset hits, such as weekly bosses, bounties, mystic maze runs, and a couple more. Well, I personally don't see this as a bad thing to do, to have like weekly incentives in a game, but these resources being locked behind timely systems makes it feel like we're having a stamina system. I'm so glad we don't have a stamina system, but I also don't blame people for seeing the weeklies as kinda a stamina system since they both time gauge you out of some progressions. Daily logins, a common thing see in every single gacha game. I mean, it's not unique to gacha games, it's mostly for live service games, but it's really well known in gacha spaces. You have the rewards you get from logging in and rewards you get from doing missions. Now with a hotter topic that weapons are just like stat sticks. Weapons not weaponing you see a lot in these type of games. Mostly weapons that came out are just random stats added for certain characters. They're glued tied to them, especially the one released with the characters. And in the newest patch, they just added the calamity system. Well, calamity weapons are a nice step in the right direction, I think, but we just need to see how they further implement this more. Now, let's talk about the character gameplay. People say Duet Night Abyss is like a gacha game because we have two skills. And having these mini cutscenes while we do our alt skill, yeah, people call them gacha alts. And finally, my last point is having a fucking mascot character. I don't know why people say Snow equals mascot character equal gacha game. I mean, yeah, Paimon, Pom Bomb, Abby, like yeah, they're in gacha games, but for example, Navi is in this type of genre of game. So I think yeah, really normal to have mascot characters, don't they? Oh my god, thank you for coming to my yapping session. I had so much fun making this video. If you agree with my points or disagree or you think I should add something, feel free to let me know. So, we gotta wait and see the future of Duet Night Abyss. And do you think Duet Night Abyss has potential? See ya next time! Amen! Drink water.